What happens when the world's richest billionaires stop racing against each other and start working together? Bill Gates wants to give away 99% of his fortune. Elon Musk wants to terraform Mars. Jeff Bezos is dishing out millions through his Courage and Civility Awards. And Mark Zuckerberg? He's quietly building a future where AI teaches your kids better than any school ever could. But what if they combined their missions? Would the world change? Or would their egos and philosophies clash so hard that humanity would miss its greatest shot at a utopia? This is the story no one's telling. If we glance at the world's richest list, one name that almost instinctively pops into our minds is Bill Gates. Despite not always holding the #1 position anymore, Gates remains an iconic figure, partly because of his legacy and partly because of what he's doing with his wealth. As of 2025, Gates holds a staggering net worth of $115.1 billion. And yet he's made it crystal clear he plans to give away 99% of it before he dies. Now, imagine not just Gates, but also Elon Musk, whose fortune towers at $424.7 billion coming into play. Now throw in Jeff Bezos, valued at $220.9 billion, and Mark Zuckerberg at $221.1 billion, and already pledging to give away 90% of his wealth. They control companies that shape your daily life: Microsoft, Tesla, SpaceX, Amazon, Meta. But more than their businesses, it's their ideas, their visions, and their ambitions that leave imprints on civilization itself. If they come together, the real question isn't just what could they do, it's what could we become? If we see deep, each of these billionaires brings a distinct flavor to the idea of philanthropy, unique ideologies, ambitions, and delivery styles that reflect who they are and how they see the world. Bill Gates is the epitome of structured, mission-driven giving. Deeply influenced by Andrew Carnegie's Gospel of Wealth, Gates has committed to giving away 99% of his fortune over the next 20 years. His foundation, which has already donated over $100 billion, is expected to spend another $200 billion before 2045, focusing on eradicating preventable diseases, eliminating deadly infections like malaria, and lifting millions out of poverty. For Gates, philanthropy is not about legacy, it's about urgency. The man who dies thus rich dies disgraced, he echoes, committed to spending now, not preserving for later. Then there's Mark Zuckerberg, whose giving philosophy mirrors his belief in long-term, systemic change. Through the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, he has pledged to give away 90% of his Facebook shares over his lifetime, targeting education reform, healthcare innovation, and advanced scientific research. Unlike Gates, who started serious philanthropy post-Microsoft, Zuckerberg embraced it early, signaling a generational shift. He sees change not only in money, but in how it's used to shape society over decades. Jeff Bezos, on the other hand, entered the scene later, but when he did, it was with calculated grandeur. He has publicly stated he'll donate most of his fortune and has already begun doing so through high-impact channels like the Courage and Civility Award. With $100 million already handed out, Bezos appears to be leaning toward empowering others to act as agents of change rather than dictating the terms himself. And then there's Elon Musk. Musk's philanthropy is, predictably, futuristic. It revolves around ideas like space colonization, AI safety, and renewable energy. While Musk often speaks of saving humanity, his execution tends to focus on civilization's long-term survival rather than its current suffering. But what happens if these four ideologies collide, no longer isolated, but combined into a single unified mission? What happens when Gates' disease eradication meets Zuckerberg's systemic science, Bezos's empowerment-focused giving, and Musk's civilization-level vision? You don't just get power, you get the blueprint for a new planet, maybe even literally. Picture Gates and Zuckerberg go full throttle on erasing diseases like malaria and cancer, not with slow charity, but with supercharged health tech backed by Bezos's billion-dollar war chest and Musk's space-age science. Think of it. Hospitals run by AI, vaccines delivered by drones, cures calculated in seconds. Now toss in education, not just YouTube lessons or dusty textbooks. We're talking Zuckerberg's dream schools streamed through the metaverse, beamed from Musk's Starlink satellites into jungle huts, mountain villages, maybe even Mars. Yes, imagine the first Martian classroom taught via hologram, where Elon's Neuralink plugs kids directly into Einstein-level knowledge, while Zuckerberg tracks every learning milestone like a video game. And climate change? Forget lectures and guilt trips. Musk builds carbon-sucking machines the size of cities. Gates funds green energy that turns deserts into forests. Bezos creates a global logistics chain that makes eco-living the default, not the deluxe. And these guys don't just throw money. They control platforms that shape billions of minds daily. Gates and his educational outreach. Zuck with Facebook and Instagram. Musk with X, tweeting straight into the brains of a generation. They've already got the attention. Now, what if they use that influence not just to entertain but to uplift? We're talking global scale shifts. Poverty? Gone. Health crises? Solved. War? Maybe not tomorrow, but with these tools, with this alliance of wealth and willpower, the future wouldn't just be rich, it could be radically fair. But why hasn't it happened yet? Simple. Ego, ideology, and inertia. Each of these men is operating on a different wavelength. Gates is laser-focused on urgent global health issues. Zuckerberg is building for the far future. Bezos is still navigating the optics of ultra-wealth. And Musk? Well, Musk is on Mars, mentally, and maybe someday, literally. Their philosophies don't clash outright, but they certainly don't sync naturally. Add in public pressure, media narratives, and political noise, and what could be a collective force for global good splinters into siloed empires. There's no Avengers-style team-up because no one's willing to hand over the spotlight. Not yet. But what if that changed? Let's say they all sat at one table. Gates rolls out his 2045 roadmap. Zuckerberg sparks an AI education wave. Bezos powers it with funding and logistics. And Musk fuels it with mind-bending ideas. In short, vision plus wealth equals a reimagined world. And this isn't about them, it's about us. Because once you see how much change is possible, you can't unsee it. If they teamed up, they could reset the very definition of what it means to be alive in the 21st century. So, should these billionaires unite for humanity, or keep building their own space kingdoms? Comment your opinions and smash that like button if you believe in real change. Subscribe if you want to see the next level truth behind the luxury, the tech, and the power plays that shape our future.